was going to do a kangaroo, but someone stole it. Probably both of us wouldn't have got points. G'day, my name is Dr. Jodi Edwards. I'm a cultural marine science, and I like to refer to myself as a sea doctor. Not a professor, no, I didn't say no professor. I've been called that once or twice. And I'm a sea mum. Not a sea monster. As my kids would often refer to me as a sea monster, particularly when I wouldn't let them be the waterbender. So, you know, they had the air, fire, earth to choose from. It's me, I'm the waterbender. So I'd like to talk to you tonight a little bit about my favourite bender, my favourite waterbender, the orca. And so the orca is, we're related. You can tell that we're related. I was going to say we're short, black and white, but see this fella here, he's short, black and white too, right? But he's a lawman of the seabirds. And like the orca and like me, we've all got big mouths. And so, why the orca? The orca is, when people find out that I study whales, there's always, I bet you have a whale of a time. But I don't get swept away in the current. I just wade my way out into that beautiful ocean life. But honestly, why the orca? You see, we have a symbiotic relationship with the orca. And it goes back a long, long way. A long, long time ago in our country, the women noticed that there were no lawmen in the sea, or law peoples in the sea. And so they asked Muriel, not that book you had, different book, different person, if they could go out and be the lawmen in the sea. And Muriel granted that, on the proviso that they remembered three things, three laws. And that's why it had to be the women, right? Because men can't remember their laws. And don't even get me started on their jocks and socks. So the three laws women had to really remember were that when you take something from country, you must always give back to country. You only take what you need from country, and you always respect Mother Earth. And so off the women went. As they passed, they went into the sea and they became the orcas, they became the whales, they became the dolphins. And the old women used to sit up on the headland and sing, and the dolphins would bring the mullet in, and then they could just pick them up and they'd chuck the mullet back out. Just give one back to that dolphin. You know, if you take something from country, you've got to give back to country. So the orcas thought, well, it can't be done up by the dolphins. So they decided they would round up the baleen whales, and they would bring them in. And so they started to realise that along this line of coastline, it's a matriarchal society. And so it's another reason we know we're related to the whales, right? Because the orcas are also matriarchal. Oddly enough, they go through menopause just like us. Now you call it El Nino, but I call it a hot sweat. And I don't think they rush out and buy Harley Davidsons, but they do, I think, entertain themselves in juicy seahorses. You know, there's the fat boy, you're the fat boy, and there's the soft tail, or the tiger tail. And so those seahorses, they get on and ride. No, they don't. They look after, like all mothers do, they look after their children. They don't even let their children, they don't ever have to move out. Now it ends up we've got a granny flat at home, or a child, or an adult child. Yeah. And so inside of, they're not doing that. Mum always brings the food home, right? So she brings the sushi home, the raw fish. She brings the odd squid for them. I don't think they have chicken salt. Maybe just sea salt. But mums in the Orca family get to choose the partner. I know, I've just seen all the women smile and say, yeah. Because no one wants their baby girl to go out with Billy the mullet, right? You see, Sea King teaches a lot about life, a lot about things. Like Orca's got a cousin called the bull shark. You all know the bull shark? Pretty hard done by. He's got a job to do, he's got to teach us about personal space. You walk into his personal space, he pushes you away, he's got those big teeth. Severs your leg, maybe half your body. But not unlike a mother, if you walk into the playground, I dare you, just tomorrow, just walk into the playground and just reach for a child and watch that mother come across and sever your leg, your gizzards off. But really, we shouldn't be scared of the sharks, or maybe just that one shark. Sorry for all those Sydney sides. We do like Cronulla much. I live in Dharawal country. So this symbiotic relationship that we have with the orcas. So the role of the orca and the law we have down in a place called Twofold Bay, which is down the coast. And there's a law down there called the law of the tongue. And the law of the tongue is about that relationship of the orca and the baleen whale and our old people. And so that old man used to put his stick on one end of the beach and stand on the other end of the beach, and he used to limp. Not very good at limp. Anyway, he used to limp from one side to the other. And Uncle Tom was an old orca down there, and he seen that old fella. And so he rounded up the baleen and he drove it on shore. And as he drove it on shore, our countrymen come out and they would hunt just the one, so they only took what they needed. And in taking what they needed, they cut the tongue of the baleen out and they gave it to Uncle Tom. Because if you take something from country, you must give something back to country. And so that giving back, sorry? You can't cut your wife's tongue. I know you feel like it at times. But in that giving back, and that creating those vibes was that symbiotic relationship that we shared with the orca. And so it started to get me thinking, you know, like, why does everyone call it the killer whale? What's a killer whale? Oh, I can see the killer whale out there on TV. Oh, the killer whales. Killer whales knocked old Cedric the sailor out of his boat. No mention of the rum that Cedric the sailor might have had. And so I went on this little bit of a Google journey and found out that there was a killer motel, killer whale motel. Imagine staying there. You're laying in bed of a night and then all of a sudden the law of it, you'd be like checking your tongue, actually. The killer whale motel. And then of course there's the killer whale cafe. I mean, what do you get at Killer Whale Cafe? Mullet? Chili? Lots of sea salt. And then, of course, my favourite was the Killer Whale Museum. The Killer Whale Museum is down in Eden. Anyone been to Eden?
Yeah.
Special place, right? Lovely place, Eden. Lots of killer places there. And I thought, I'm going down to check this killer whale museum out. There's a big sign as you walk in the door, just to the side. Please respect the staff, they are all volunteers. I think they need to change that. So I walked in and I'm looking around and there's a little old lady sitting behind the counter. And she's there doing her knitting. And she looked up over her glasses at me. I said, I have come to see the orcas, the killer whales. Oh, I said, you know, the whales weren't the killers. It was the men that did the killing. Well, over the counter she jumped. I swear to God, I said to her, knitting has got nothing on fishing, the way she come at me. Just like that, with her knitting needles in her hand. This is the Killer Whale Museum. They are the killer whales. And if you want to come in here, you need to respect that. And I was like, wow, like, okay, that sign out the front should say, beware if you're coming inside. The CWA ladies here and knitting is a thing. All jokes aside, the orca has a symbiotic relationship with the Dharawal and Yuin people. Whales and sea country are very important to us as people. We learn from the ocean many, many things. You learn every day about the oxygen provided by the trees. 75% of our oxygen comes from sea country. 75% of that oxygen comes from our kelp farms that are slowly drifting away. So if you take anything from today, after the laughs and the jokes, take one thing. If you take something from country, give something back to country. Only take what you need from country, and always, always respect Mother Earth. Because if we took all of the people off Mother Earth, she would go, yippee! And she would take back every single thing that belongs to her. But if we take Mother Earth off all of the people, there's not enough room in Elon Musk's little jet plane all the way to Mars for all of us. Thank you.